Welcome to the Mild Opinion Podcast. I'm Logan.
I'm Luke.
And since the Doomsday trailer just released, we'd figure we'd talk about a little bit about that, and also some other trailers from the past, comic book trailers that we thought stood out or, really set the scene for what the movie actually was. But yeah, we can start off. What are your initial thoughts on the Doomsday trailer?
Yeah, so first off, I feel like I'm not blown away by it like I was when the first Infinity War trailer dropped, but I'm not necessarily as let down with that as I feel like I'm seeing a lot of people, because everybody knows all these promotional things leading up to this. There was the seeding cast thing where you see there's going to be all of these people are in this movie. And yeah, you have all these new characters who are going to be a lot of your leading power behind it, but I also am thinking if there's ever a time for Marvel to go just ridiculous in bringing in as much stuff as possible, and honestly, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a cameo fest, but also if they capture that properly like they have before, then I don't think this new trailer isn't making me not excited for the movie. And it's great to finally see our first look at Doom, and he's holding off who is one of the most physically powerful Avengers with 2 fingers and not even moving.
Yeah.
And then yeah, it's cool to see the Avengers in the X-Men mansion and stuff like that. Mm. So I'm excited for it. I feel like there's a lot of misdirection going on in watching the trailer.
Yeah, and I've seen where people have been talking about it, and they're like, oh yeah, there's just so much, and even in the trailer, it doesn't seem super impressive to me, even with all of the different characters and stuff that they've shown so far. But I feel like part of that I've seen, what they're complaining about is that it just doesn't seem like there's anything going on, and everything that is going on doesn't, make sense in a cohesive way that they can wrap their head around, which is 100% on purpose. I mean, they're not going to tell you the entire plot of this movie, in this trailer, and I would rather it be like that. Yeah, they did show off, quite a bit. They showed Doom, and they showed Thor, and, that interaction. They've shown Steve and Thor in that interaction, and the whole room of all of the different characters from, different, New Avengers and, Fantastic Four and whoever else. And, they're all in the movie. We had already known that, so I don't know why people are, kind of disappointed they've already shown that. Cause I'm and they're not going to show you, an entire, giant fight involving all of these new characters or, returning characters and stuff like that in the trailer. I mean, that's just, I think it showed what it needed to show without doing too much. And I do think that they gave you little bits here and there, Doom holding off Stormbreaker and all that with 2 fingers. They gave you little bits, you know what I mean? And then, what they've shown of the X-Men and stuff. It's the little kind of bits to keep you, engaged and, get you talking about it. But it's not too much where it's showing off, everything. And that's what I want. That's a good trailer. That's what they do with a good trailer.
Yeah, and I think, too, especially with, when Thanos came around, I feel like when you watch Infinity War, there's all these people who are oh, it's this, they're all a main character. But I would say the main character of Infinity War is Thanos, because, his journey is the one you're following, and, him collecting all the stones and, winning all these fights. And at the end, he's the one who has, the arc of, becoming victorious and, losing something he loves and, all that. Everybody else just loses. He achieved what he wanted, and he went through everybody else trying to stop him in different ways. He was everywhere. And that's what I'm expecting kind of with Doom in this. Not that he's necessarily going about the exact same formula as Thanos, but I am expecting him to kind of be the main character in his own way. And keeping that in mind, watching this trailer, yeah, there's going to be tons of everybody in it, but you still have only seen a split second of him. And he's the mystery of the movie too. It's we still don't know what the deal is with the Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. being Doom. What exactly shape that's going to take all the way. We don't know necessarily I mean, it's been dropped hints of what he's like after and everything. People have been guessing, but there's been no official confirmation where it's like, yeah, Doom is going after this. He's doing this to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's just speculating. And it's like, people are saying, oh yeah, it'll be to form the battle world by the end of the movie. Like, he's going after Loki and stuff. It's like, oh, that's a good... probably a good bet that a lot of that's going to be kind of what he's doing, but it's also like, we don't know that for sure or what shape even that will take.
Yeah.
So I'm still not that worried about it. I feel like it gave you a hint of what it's going to be without telling you, hey, here's everything that's happening.
Yeah. I agree. And also with the Thanos thing, I think that is something about this movie, which I have no idea, just from the trailer and stuff. I think it'll be a little bit different, is because, like, with Thanos, everyone was kind of split up, and you saw all of the heroes, but they were all kind of fighting him individually, or, like, you know what I mean? Like, in smaller groups that aren't, like, the regular groups, like, with, like, Strange and Iron Man and Peter Quill and, you know what I mean, Spider-Man, and, like, other groups that's, whatever. Just random groups that were fighting him on their own, not, like, all together. I think with Doomsday, whatever's happening, whether it be Doom or something else or whatever, I think whatever the issue is at hand is going to get everyone together. And then for most of the movie, a lot of them will be working together as, like, it'll be like one big unit rather than a bunch of separate ones like it was against, like, Thanos. Like, I feel like everyone will be together working on the same thing at the same time throughout most of the movie rather than being split up trying to take them on.
And that's interesting too, because everybody will be the same thing, and I'm not saying Doom will be necessarily, like, alone, but it doesn't seem like he's gonna have an army of aliens or anything like that with him.
Mm-hmm.
And in the trailer we see what we've known for a while, which is, the X-Men and the current Avengers are going at it. So it's gonna be that group who, at one moment, I'm expecting them to be on the same page, are going to lose it on one another, and that's going to be, like, the big fighting is, that's the opportunity for them to be like, what would be a cool X-Men to fight a cool Avenger? Let's just pick and choose a cool fight scene to happen. It's not going to be, all right, we need to stand our ground and fight off this entire army. Like, it looks a lot of infighting.
Yeah, I agree.
Interesting. It's there hasn't been something like that since Civil War.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, in spirit of the new Doomsday trailer, we wanted to take a stroll down memory lane at some of the most memorable trailers, and I think the majority of them will be, like, comic book based. But yeah, what do you think? What would be, like, a first pick for you in terms of a trailer that you think was very memorable before a movie came out?
With my first one, I think this trailer in particular shows you, like, kind of, like, a good origin or, like, a good basis of, like, all right, like, this is what's happening, this is why, like, this is kind of, like, how the pace of the movie is going to be, while also showing, like, this is going to be, like, this is it. Like, when you think of this character, this is it. And that would be the first Deadpool trailer.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, the music and everything, and how it, like, starts off serious too, where, like, it shows him talking about, like, his cancer and all that, and then them trying to fix him and whatnot. And then it just goes from that to him as Deadpool with the music and all that, just taking people out, starts cracking jokes and all that toward the end of it. I'm like, yeah, that was a pretty good example.
Yeah, that's a good pick. Is that also the one where he's, like, sitting on top of the highway thing drawing the doodle?
Yeah, it starts off super serious and, like, the whole origin thing, and then, like, halfway through the trailer, then it goes to him doodling and the music comes on, and then it just starts doing all the regular Deadpool things.
And that also is, like, exactly the vibe of the movie.
Yeah.
It has its serious moments, but then the rest of it, when he's just Deadpool in the present, is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good first pick. I'll start here with my number one favorite comic book movie trailer of all time. And this isn't even my favorite comic book character. And I don't know what it is about this trailer. I will go back and watch this trailer to this day every once in a while because I just think it's cool and there's nothing spectacular about it. I think it's just really well done. And that's the first trailer for Logan with the Johnny Cash music and like the old Western vibe to it, and seeing him, you get like the shots of him in like the berserk mode and kind of with the X-23 stuff going on. But that trailer is so cool. I don't know what it is. Like, it has like it has the perfect old man Logan vibe to it. And then it jumps into like the action stuff with the Johnny Cash music. It's so cool.
I agree. And I had that one on my list as well.
Yeah.
I just, that's all-time pick just because the Johnny Cash song, and it also just really sets the tone for that movie. Like that very well captures the vibe of that movie a lot.
Yeah. And it's very sad too. Like it just has like a sad feel, but I think while you're watching it, it kind of gives you like that sad feeling to it. And then right when the Johnny Cash song like goes into that like instrumental part, or not instrumental, but like once it really kicks in and it starts showing the fast action sequences and stuff, I get excited just watching that. Like, oh man, I'm excited. And I remember seeing that, I think I was like maybe a freshman in high school or something when that came out, and being like, oh man, I'm excited for this movie from this trailer. So wow, yeah. So yeah, that is my favorite comic book trailer.
Very good pick.
Thanks.
I will jump over to another one. This one is DC, and that would be the Watchmen trailer. I don't know if I've seen the trailer for that. Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's pretty much just it starts off with showing how Manhattan comes to be, just like, the experiment gone wrong. Yeah. So it starts off with that, but then it pretty much just shows a bunch of action shots of Rorschach, and it does show the scale of Manhattan's power as well, like scenes of like the one where he's in war and he's giant, and then him forming like his base and whatever. Yeah, all of the things. But yeah, it does a good, and the music that coincides with it matches pretty well. And it has like, different monologues from the different characters and stuff, and all of the things. Basically just a cool music, and it shows a bunch of dark sequences and action shots, and everything that doesn't have to do with Manhattan in the trailer. Because like all the scenes of Manhattan, it's just the ones from, the movie where it's all bright and this and that, and like showing him do spectacular things. All the other scenes in the trailer with everyone else and all the other characters are all super dark, gritty fight scenes, stuff like that. Yeah. So I'm like, pretty much just describes the movie. I mean,
yeah. Well, now I'll have to go watch that trailer, but also, that movie is probably one of the darkest comic book movies, and I haven't ever read a Watchmen comic or graphic novel or anything like that, but that is it's like a different kind of superhero kind of thing going on. So I'll have to take a look at that. But staying in DC for a second, I'll throw another one of my picks out, which is the Batman movie trailer. And the trailer itself is good and it's cool, and it gives you like it's kind of like the tankier, bulkier Batman, and it's gonna be a darker take on the Riddler and all that. But this trailer specifically just set off like a chain reaction of speculation, which so much of it turned into nothing. But I remember watching breakdowns and stuff and people being like, wait, freeze, is that guy in the back, is that just like him out of focus, or is that guy wearing a Court of Owls mask? And I feel like that sparked a lot of theorizing of what's gonna be the Batman stuff even to this day, because so many people got so into analyzing this trailer that they were picking up on things where it's like still unknown of, was that supposed to be something? And now same thing happened with the Penguin when the show came out. I never watched really the trailer for it. I just watched the show. There's like little details people pick out, and they're like, everything seems like it's pointing at something. Unfortunately, we may never even find out because now the Batman 2 is delayed again until 2028, which is crazy. But yeah, that was just in terms of like a lot of the comic book trailers I feel like we will talk about. That one I felt very like, okay, we're going full murder mystery detective Batman with a Riddler that looks like the Zodiac killer is pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree. And also in the trailer, it does do a very good job of like showing you like, oh yeah, this is gonna be like the darkest, like grittiest Batman that you've ever seen. Like, because I feel like every other Batman trailer that we've ever seen, or like Batman in any trailer, whatever, whether it be, you know, the Christopher Nolan movies or, you know, the Ben Affleck Batman and Batman vs Superman, whatever. Every time you see Batman in a trailer, it's like superhero Batman, and that one, the Batman, it didn't really feel like that. It was more like, you know, it starts off with like the Riddler in the diner and all that, and it's like rainy and dark and all that, and then from there it just kind of keeps going like, oh yeah, it's just dark and gritty, like
and
gross Batman.
There was some gross Batman, and I remember too so many people trying to like decipher the Riddler because they have like images of those sort of like cipher things he makes, and people were trying to decode what it meant. That was just, it was a cool trailer because of how it got people engaged and being like, what is going on in the world of this Batman? Because it's different, it looks weird, it looks strange, you know. So that's why I picked that one.
Agreed. I think another one that I have, it kind of, I guess would go under the radar in terms of like big time comic book trailers, but it always stood out to me just the way that they done it in regard to what was happening, I guess, when this trailer came out. But that would be the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, because it was announced and everybody was like, oh, who is this? This movie's going to be terrible. Why are they doing this? So then in the trailer, they start off by literally introducing everybody with like the prison stuff when they're all talking about who each of them are. So then, boom, you already get an introduction to each of them individually because of that. And then also on top of that, you get a pretty good feel for it because you see action shots and stuff as they're introducing them or whatever. And then it cuts to, you know, Hooked on a Feeling starts playing throughout the back half of the trailer. And there's the whole thing of Star-Lord flipping him the bird and all that. Yeah. And then, you know, the whole what a bunch of a-holes and all that. And like, pretty much the back half of the trailer just sets the scene for what Guardians of the Galaxy was going to be.
Sure.
It starts, and, you know, I think that since everybody was talking about like how it's going to be bad, nobody even knows these characters and all that. So, and then they just introduce all of them and then kind of give them a feel for how it was going to be.
Yeah.
Solid trailer.
And yeah, you're right. It's like, I think when that one came out, it's like after Avengers, and then I think like a few Phase 2 movies had come out. So it's like, oh, we're staying the course with like Iron Man and like Captain America and Thor. And everybody in there is just like, here's this group you've never heard of doing goofy action movie stuff.
Yeah.
And then that's another trailer that you brought up that like perfectly captured what that movie felt like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that didn't misdirect or anything or make it seem like it was going to be good and then it turned out bad. That was like exactly what the movie's like.
Yeah.
I'll jump back into Marvel as well. I'll start with one. I remember very well how excited I got with the first Avengers Age of Ultron trailer, where it's playing the like creepy Pinocchio song with Ultron talking about like extinction and everything, and you just catch like the few shots of Ultron with like it's the shot that didn't make it in the movie, but when he's like built himself a new body and he has like the lava peeling off him and stuff, and you just see the Avengers like in such distress and in like a darker, colder looking field than the first Avengers. And then the way that trailer ends with like the Hulkbuster fighting Hulk shots, I was so excited for that when I first saw that trailer.
And that one's just like, you know, it's Ultron and all that, and it's whatever. But, like, that trailer itself is just like, man, it's Ultron. He's going to be a problem. and then just showing the Hulkbuster stuff and all that, you're like, dude, what is even happening? Like, what? How did this even come to be?
Yeah, that was just. I'm pretty sure I remember like one of the last shots is like the Hulkbuster getting one of the arms on, and then it's just like them two punching each other. That was so cool.
Yeah.
And after 2, that was still relative, like compared to now, relatively early MCU.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh man, the first Avengers just came out, and everybody, or a few years back at that point, but everybody remembers the Avengers, right?
Yeah.
Now you see them like falling apart, and looks like a few of them are having a mental breakdown and stuff. It's like, what's happening?
Yeah.
So that was cool. That was really cool.
Solid one.
Yeah.
I think my next one's also a Marvel one. And this one was just like huge. This one blew up the internet. And that would be the trailer for No Way Home.
Yeah.
Because, dude, the hidden details, everybody's trying to find the hidden details. But just everything, like, giving the flashback to what's going on, of like how everybody knows him and stuff, and like him dealing with it. And it starts off with pretty similar to how the movie starts off, with him and MJ on the roof and all that, and him trying to hide. And then it goes from there to more stuff, like him goes. It pretty much does just follow the timeline of the movie, but he goes to Strange. Strange is trying to fix it, whatever. And then right after that, you see the Green Goblin throws bomb, and you hear his laugh in the background without seeing him. And then at the very end, you see Doc Ock and the Hello Peter and all that.
Yeah.
It's so good.
That was
so good.
That was specifically the Doc Ock arm when it like smashed on the concrete and stuff, and then he says hello Peter.
Yeah.
It was like, because there was rumors leading up to that where everybody's like, there's no way like Andrew, Toby, the villains are all back, and it's like, well, that confirmed like half of it.
Yeah.
And it was funny too, because that trailer also, it was like everybody knew that Toby and Andrew were going to show up at some point, but they still had everybody having the little bit of doubt of like, no, it's just going to be the villains.
Yeah.
Which would have been so disappointing, but then it's when that actually came true, it was crazy. But that trailer was the first thing that was actually like, no, maybe there's something to the rumors you've been saying where all of these people are back in this.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
For sure.
I have a couple more Marvel ones. There's one obvious one for Marvel, but I'll go to the other one that I think really, really excited me when I saw it for the first time, because I was waiting for this trailer for the longest time, because we knew the movie was coming. There was a big gap between a lot of things coming up to this, and it was the Civil War trailer where it's showing the Avengers fighting each other, and it shows Bucky like jumping off a building, and it shows them at the airport about to start the huge fight. And that was also the trailer that starts where it just shows that scene from that movie where like Captain America, Bucky, and Iron Man are going at it, and was that Sokovia where they're just going at it full force, and it shows most of that fight scene. That got me incredibly excited. I remember like sat down and watched that trailer like 3 times, because I was like, what is going on here?
It's so huge. And I mean, that too is just like a huge turning point for like Marvel as well, because that was like the first time that you got some stuff like that. And I mean, this is a little bit further off from like the trailer and stuff, but like that, the trailer done a good job like showing you what was happening or what would be happening in the movie without spoiling it. And then also, that movie itself like gave us Spider-Man for the first time and all that. And it's just like, man, it's too good.
There's so much to that, but that was one that really excited me as well.
My last one that I'll touch on is a DC trailer. This one more recent, but I think the Superman trailer.
Oh yeah.
I think that was really good. It's more recent, but I mean, they start off with them talking about the Superman controversy. Starting off like that. And then toward the end of the movie, or into the trailer, I mean, the latter half of the trailer, it goes from them talking about like the controversy and all that he's in. And then it starts with the heroic music and all that, and then showing him saving a bunch of people and doing cool stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, Superman's supposed to be.
I feel like I can't say a lot about that one. That was just so like, it was such a hard-hitting introduction to that universe too, because
Yeah.
it was like so bright and so colorful, and you get like all these heroes all at once, and you get the shots of him saving a few
Mhm.
people and like flying, and then that's the one where it ends with the shot of him like flying straight up into the sun. That was
Yeah.
super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool.
And also just I feel like the way that they done like the heroic music and all that, like it wasn't like, some like old song that everybody knows or something, because I feel like a lot of like superhero trailers, they'll put that in there like some song that fits or that goes with it or whatever, and that's cool too, you know what I mean? But that was just like straight up just pure like Superman superhero, like
Yeah.
that's like seems like Superman.
Yeah, and I remember that shot too, where that little girl's like in front of the building while that all those cars are like coming towards her, and they have that like slow mo shot of like him like super speed like flying around her and like absorbing the blast. That was super cool to see.
Yeah.
I'll go to my last superhero pick, and I feel like a lot of people to this day would say this is like the greatest trailer of all time, which is like the first Infinity War trailer.
Yeah.
With the like dramatic music playing, and you get your first look at Thanos as like the bad guy, because like you'd seen him before, but he wasn't ever around all that long. It was just like, who's this guy? Why does this guy keep showing up? And then it's like all of everything that's been leading to this is right now, and then finally you see him.
Yeah.
And you get like your shot of like Spider-Man, and you get all these more looks of more Avengers in distress, like with Hulk saying Thanos is coming, and Iron Man looking around like something horrible's happening and everything. It was so like foreboding for the Avengers.
Yeah.
So that was just, there's not much more to say about it. It was just like, oh, here we go.
It's getting real.
Yeah.
Something real bad's happening.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a really good one.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you have any more you wanted to hit?
I think that's all I've got. I just,
All right.
I think with the Doomsday, I don't know if the Doomsday trailer is an all timer, but it does have me very excited
for sure. And I feel like there'll probably be one more Doomsday trailer.
Yeah.
I would assume.
Yeah.
But I have one trailer. This is like my only trailer that is not a comic book movie trailer, and it's not an all timer trailer. It's just I don't know why I think this trailer is very, very well done. And it has me excited for this movie, is the trailer for Primetime. The Robert Pattinson A24 movie.
Yeah.
I feel like the first time I saw that trailer, I remember you had told me that this movie was coming out, and I was like, that sounds interesting. And then the trailer happened, and I was like, oh, this is that movie Logan was telling me about. And I thought it was cool then. And then when recently just saw the Odyssey in IMAX when that came on, I was like, whoa, that looks cool. I mean, it's gonna be like drama. It's not like an action movie or anything, but that's fine. I feel like with
sweet.
the screens and everything, that's such a well done trailer.
Yeah, I agree. It looks awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that wraps us up.
Yep.
So this has been the Mild Opinion Podcast. Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you next time.